Sitting here with third-year head football coach at Fayetteville State University, head coach Lawrence Kershaw. Coach, we're midway through the season, in fact, just over midway. Give us a little recap of how you see things have gone so far.
Well, to me, things have gone well. Obviously we got off to a slow start, but like I told the guys, we had a young football team. We had a bunch of guys that's playing new roles. Even when you got returners coming back, if it was a guy that played 20 snaps last year and now he's playing 40, 50 snaps or he's a starter, that's a new role for him. Offensive line-wise, we got 5 brand new starters up there. So I knew early on we was going to struggle a little bit and it was going to take us some time to gel and come together. Granted, you never want to start 0-3, but I thought week by week we got better because we fixed some things that caused us to lose the previous week. And I told the guys and told the program and the team all together that these 3 losses was going to help us once we get into conference play. Because once you get into conference play, people don't realize how tough it is because you're playing teams that you play every year. The coaches know each other. You know what they're doing. We know what they're doing. People got a bunch of film on you now. People got 3-4 games on you, so there's really no secrets there. So the conference is always tougher than your out of season if you're playing anybody out of season. Now that's the flip side of it. I mean, if you look at our 3 losses, at that time, I think all 3 teams was like a combined 8-1. So we played a tough out of season schedule, which I preferred to be that way because again, you're always building towards getting to the conference, and that's where we want to be playing your best football. And we've gotten better, and we won 3 games in a row, and we're in first place right now. And we just got to keep it going from here.
You spoke about 0-3 start and how you got better every week, and you got guys that kind of continue to be engaged. Mm-hmm. That speaks to discipline and mentorship. How do you get them to still hear your voice even in troubled times?
Well, we got a great staff. That's what it comes down to. And like I tell anybody, you want to be playing your best football at the end of the year, and that's also a mark of a great staff because your team should be getting better week by week, week by week. Now, the way we fight through the troubled times, adversity brings you together. And everything that I teach life lessons through the sport of football. And we went through some adverse situations, and we came together as a program. The good thing about it is that we got great veteran leadership, and they've been through it the past 2 years. Because it's been the same thing. Last year it was even worse. We started out 0-4, and we had to bounce back to be a game away from going to the championship game. The previous year we started out 0-2. So we kind of been through this a little bit before, so we had great veteran leadership to lead us through it, plus we got a great staff, and we all came together as a program, and the guys knew it. They knew we had a good team, and you got to do a good job of educating them. That's the biggest thing. You got to educate them, let them know. No excuses, okay, but here's what's going on, here's what we need to fix to get the wins. Because, we knew we had a good football team and we was talented, but we wasn't putting it all together.
Right. One of the things I guess people are familiar with is what you're doing with the X's and O's and on the field, but what they may not know is regardless of the outcome on the field, every Monday your program is committed to a community service here in Fayetteville. Mm-hmm. You've been working with 3 schools. Mm-hmm. Where did that originate?
Well, for me, it's funny. I'll tell you this story. When I was younger, I always wondered why the guys that you saw on TV or the guys that was popular, they never came back to help us in that particular situation, because I grew up in the projects. And nobody never came back to help us. Our mentors was the guys that you saw every day, the coaches, the people that you saw go to work every day that was doing the right things. And when I got to high school, I started to become a little bit more knowledgeable about kind of how things operate. And I won't say his name, but we didn't have, at my high school, I went to a real bad high school, and we didn't have uniforms. And a guy that made it to the NBA, he came back and he bought some uniforms for us. And for me, it was like a photo opportunity or a tax write-off kind of deal. And I didn't feel good about that. Everybody else kind of felt, yeah, we got new uniforms, da-da-da. But I didn't feel good about that because you wasn't coming back and you wasn't with us on a daily basis. And I always said that, I always knew I wanted to be a coach, that when I got my own program, community service was going to be a fabric of what we was going to do. regardless. And right now we got 3 projects going on. We go over to Cliffdale Elementary School every Monday, Nick Jeralds Middle School every Monday, and Urban Ministries. Last year we did some stuff at the VA hospital. So every year we go out and solicit a bunch of different projects from a bunch of different people that we're able to connect with, because again, it's going to be something that we're going to do, and it was going to be a major part of my program when I got the opportunity to become a head coach.
You mentioned this year you've been working with Cliffdale, Luther Nick Jeralds, and with Urban Ministry. What's been the feedback from working with those 3 organizations?
Great. They love the fact that we come. The kids love it. And our players love it, because for me it does something for them also, because when you can get out and see that you're helping somebody, it does something for you. It makes you feel good, because those kids look up to us, because they're where they want to be. So it's a win-win on both ends, and our guys are able to feel good about themselves, that they're helping somebody else. People are looking up to them, and for me, again, it was automatic. It was about making a connection, a weekly connection. Not, we come up and we do something once a year and then we won't see us again to the next year. I didn't want that kind of, because to me that's not community service. So we wanted those kids to see us every Monday, come, and now they're looking forward to it. Which is a good thing.
You talked a little bit about how it's kind of been beneficial for your players to interact with the kids, and like you said, the kids are looking at them as you're where we want to be. Has that helped with the maturation of them as just young men, as well as student athletes on the field, keeping things in perspective, or keeping calm, starting off 0-3 but not rushing because you understand there are worse things going on in the world, type of thing?
Yeah, very, very much so. Because like I tell my guys all the time, everybody in this room is success for getting to this point. And somebody helped you get to this point, whether it's mom, dad, aunt, uncle, coach, whoever it was. Somebody helped you get to this point in your life, and you're successful. You're a college student. You're playing college football, and you're doing positive within your own life. So now it's time for you to part those messages on to other people. Because now you want to be the one to help somebody else get to where you're at.
In addition to doing the community service over the summer, you held 2 camps. You had a prospect camp for like some of the older students, and you had a youth camp. How does this all tie in?
Well, it all ties in because, again, we want to bring youth to the campus and teach them some fundamentals. Again, everything I try to do is life lessons through football. The prospect camp is I have people come on our campus and see what it is that we have. Because a lot of times, just through recruiting, one of the things that we hear all the time is, wow, we didn't know it looked like this. We had a different perception of how it was. So if you can get out, get people on your campus, get people to get a chance to know us, get a chance to see what it is exactly we got, because Fayetteville State is a great institution. But you always got a bunch of naysayers and negative stuff out there, and people kind of listen to that before they can get a chance to get up here and really see how it is. So that's the biggest thing for doing the prospect camp. One, so we can get a look at the upcoming prospects, and so they can get a look at us. And the youth camp is we trying to build Broncos, baby Broncos, and let them come up, and when it's their time to graduate from high school, Fayetteville State is the place they want to come.
Coach, you're a native New Yorker. This is your 3rd year at Fayetteville State. How has the adjustment been to the Fayetteville community in the South?
Well, yeah, I've been in the South for, my whole coaching career, almost. I went to Virginia State. That's where I played and graduated from. So I've probably been in the South for about the past 25, 30 years. So my friends back in Brooklyn, they call me a country boy now. From the way I talk and all those kind of things. So it ain't no big deal for me. I always wanted to be a football coach, and if you choose to be a college football coach, you're probably going to be all over the place. So you got to go where the job's at. Fayetteville has embraced me. It's a great city. I love being here. I was in Florida for the previous 5 years, and it was kind of good to kind of get back north a little bit.
Coach, we're getting down that stretch. We're in division play. And just looking at the pattern, this has been your stride. October has been your month of balance. I guess, for the Libras out there who know about the zodiac signs, they search for balance, and October has been your month. How do you complete this stretch and get to the final run against Winston and finish the task and beat them?
Well, for us, we got to focus on one game at a time. Every team is going to be a challenge. We're in divisional play. And like I said earlier, all the games are going to be tough. You can't really go by nobody's overall record, because a lot of that stuff could be, it's kind of fluff based on what you did in your non-conference schedule. Every game is going to be tough because these guys know each other. Okay, they all from the same area for the most part. They played in high schools together. All the coaches, we all kind of know each other and know what each other's doing. So the games are going to be tough, and they're probably going to come down to the wire for the most part. So we got to focus on one game at a time. Right now, we're in good shape.
Coach, you got a senior at quarterback. He's just recently been named quarterback of the week for the second time this season. He's putting up great numbers. I'm talking about Derek Bryant. How do you feel about how he's taking command of the offense this year, and what is your viewpoint of his chances on being player of the year for the CIAA?
Well, I think he got a good chance to be player of the year for sure. But again, it's based on how he finished up. He's having a great season up to this point. He took total control of the offense. We told him coming in this year that you was going to have to compete for your job. And he did the things that he needed to do over the summer to get him in shape to be successful. Because that's what his biggest problem was in the past. Just recently, he had an article in the paper kind of discussing how he wasn't in shape, how he couldn't do some things in the fourth quarter. And if you notice this year, we're having great fourth quarters. Now, we're struggling in third quarter and letting teams come back a little bit on us, but we're finishing games. And that's a testament to him and the kind of shape that he's in. He's a veteran. He knows the system front and back. And he's just executing and doing what he's been taught to do, and he's having a phenomenal year so far.
Of course, we know it's one game at a time, but allow your mind to go there and just visualize what it would be like to bring home a championship to Fayetteville State.
Well, it was a goal of ours when we got here. Like I told the guys and like I told the team, I expected to win the championship my first year. Okay, because in this business, this is a right now business. Okay, you don't really have time to build towards a program. So my approach was, I'm not one of them coaches that you take over a program. Well, these are not my guys. I need to get rid of these guys and get my guys in. Nope. If you become the head coach of that school, then those are your kids because you decided to take upon the job. So that was our goal, and I think that's why we was one game away the past 2 years. And hopefully we can finish it this year. Again, that's what our goal is. Our goal is to do two things. Okay, win a division, win the conference championship. That's all we strive, and that's all we focus on.
Last thing, Coach, I guess it's always about building the program. And now you're knocking at the door, or expectations have got to the point where people are expecting you to be in the hunt for the conference championship. But I guess thinking ahead past this year, what do you see for this program? This
will continue to build. Once we got to get the hurdle winning the division. Okay, then once we get over that, we got to get over the hurdle of winning the championship, the conference championship. Then once we do that, my ultimate goal is to win the national championship. That's my ultimate goal. So that's where I want to get the program to, for sure.
Coach, I appreciate the time.
Yep, appreciate you.